Chandrasekhar, 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 pahi maan. Chandrasekhar, 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 raksha maan. Chandrasekhar, 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 pahi maan. Chandrasekhar, 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 raksha maan.
Guru Vishnuhu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Shruti Smriti Purananam, Alayam Karunalayam, Namami Bhagavat Pada, Shankaram Lokashankaram, Sada Shiva Samarambham, Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Bande Guru Paramparam. With our prostrations at the lotus feet of our Acharya, we have been able to conclude Shiva Aparadha Kshamapana Stotram. We had earlier concluded Ganesha Pancharatnam and Subramanya Bhujangam. Now, Shiva Aparadha Kshamapana Stotram, as all of us have felt, has been a great experience. I would like to quickly go over what we have seen in Shiva Aparadha Kshamapana Stotram. Very brief summary. In the first 4 shlokas, Adi Shankara referred to the 4 stages of human life where we concentrate or we are unable to do anything for even remembering Shiva. And we are concentrating on our own immediate obsessions. So he was referring to the period of stay in the womb, the childhood, the youth, and the old age. And then he referred to Shiva Puja. Shiva Puja, the details of the Shiva Puja, how Ganga water should be brought, how Bilva Patra should be brought from. See, there is a tradition of plucking flowers with our own hands. That is what Shastra says. Now we are buying from the shop. That is not recommended. That is why he said Bilva Patra should be brought from deep inside the forest, he said. Because if it's not available at a nearby place, then you may have to take special pains to go inside the forest. So like this, he went on describing the various puja aspects. Then he said, I am not able to do smartha karma like upasanam, darshapurnamasam, sthali pakam, etc. I am not able to do shrauta karma like agnihotram, yagas, etc. I have not been able to prepare myself for shravana, manana, and nididhyasana. I have not done even simpler things like charity to brahmanas, like japas. I have not gone into the yoga marga, which is even more tough because it calls for focusing the mind on a particular specific object. That I am not able to do. So I am unable to think of Shiva, whether it is in waking state, whether it is in dream state, whether it is in state of deep sleep. So finally he says, he is advising the mind to concentrate, to leave aside all these obsessions, and to concentrate on Shiva, and he is giving the attributes of Shiva so that the mind can focus on the form of Shiva. The form of Shiva he is describing, and then he is making certain statements whereby we will develop vairagya, detachment. He is decrying all that we consider as important, and then he says you should develop vairagya. And then for which he is giving several aspects, several examples. And finally he says, Tasman mam sharanagatam karunaya tvam raksha rakshaduna. Now you please protect me. I have no other refuge. That is how he concluded. Great stotra. Now we move to Shiva Panchakshara Stotram. This is a very famous one, very commonly known to many people. Before we go into this stotram, we should know what is Panchaksharam. Namah Shivaya is Panchaksharam. There are 5 aksharas, 5 letters. Nama, Shivaya. And these 5 letters are expanded in the form of 5 shlokas here. Now, Namah Shivaya is the Panchakshara mantra, which all of us are chanting. But in earlier times, even this mantra was given as Upadesha by a practice earlier. Now, Om is prohibited for women, as I mentioned earlier in one of the sessions, because Om is the Bija mantra, which is the Bija for all other Bija mantras. Om and Hrim, these are the 2 basic Bija mantras. Om for Shiva and Hrim for Devi. This is what the Shastras say. So, just as we cannot chant Hrim without proper Upadesha, we are not supposed to chant Om without proper Upadesha. Men who have gone through Upanayanam have already got that Upadesha, so they can chant Om Namah Shivaya, but women cannot chant Om Namah Shivaya, they should chant only Namah Shivaya. This is the traditional position in Shastras. I am not concerned with what many gurus teach, what many organizations teach, etc. There is a parivar called Gayatri Parivar where they encourage women to perform homam with the chant of Gayatri Mantra. We cannot talk about such things here in this forum. So, I can only refer to the provisions in Shastras. Now, this Namah Shivaya, which everyone can chant, which everyone is chanting, is a potent mantra, and you don't need Om, you don't need any special attachment to make it more potent. That we should realize. If we have something which is already enough for me, why should I aspire for something else? People go and take Upadesham for various mantras from various gurus. Not at all required. They have Gayatri, which is the most important mantra, which is the most potent mantra. Why they are running here and there? Because they cannot even chant Gayatri. They have no time to chant Gayatri. When they go and take Upadesha of other mantras, and then finally they land neither here nor there. So, I mean, this is kind of little background of the potency of Panchakshara mantra. Now, this letters, each of the letters, Na, Ma, Chi, Va, Ya, has been assigned a shloka here, because each of the letters itself is having the potency of Shiva, not only the whole mantra, not only the 5-lettered mantra, each letter itself has got the potency of getting the blessings of Shiva. That is the teaching of this great stotra. Nagendraharaya Trilochanaya Bhasmangaragaya Maheshwaraya
Nagendraharaya Trilochanaya Bhasmangaragaya Maheshwaraya
Nityaya Shuddhaya Digambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya.
Nityaya Shuddhaya Digambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya.
Now, Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya. Prostrations to Shiva, Namah Shivaya. Tasmai Nakaraya, who is reflected in all his potency in the letter Na. In Sanskrit, each letter, if you add the avyaya kara, then it becomes nakara. Kara means that letter. Letter Na is called nakara. Akara is letter A. Om is consisting of 3 letters, people say, isn't it? A, U, Ma. Akara, Ukara, Makara. If you add a kara, it means that letter, reference to that letter. So, Nakara, I mean, that letter I am prostrating. I am prostrating to Shiva, fine. I am also prostrating to the letter Na, because that letter Na has the full potency of Shiva. Tasmai Nakaraya. To that letter Na I prostrate, who himself represents Shiva. Namaha Shivaya. Now he is explaining what is the importance of Na, Nakara. Nagendra Haraya. He starts with Na here. Nagendra Haraya. Hara is a garland. He is using Naga Indra, the head of Nagas, that is Vasuki. Vasuki is the head of Nagas. He is using him as a garland. Naga Indra, the head of Nagas. Narendra means head of humans. Devendra means head of Devas. So Indra means head. If you say Indra, merely Indra, normally it refers to Devendra. So Nagendra means the head of Nagas, who is Vasuki. Sometimes Nagendra is also understood, interpreted as Adishesha, because Shiva is wearing Adishesha as a ring, as a garland, and so on. Sometimes Adishesha is represented as an anklet in Shiva's foot. So there are several descriptions of Adishesha and Shiva, and Vasuki and Shiva. Vasuki is a great name in the Purana literature, not like other Nagas, because Vasuki is the mother of Manasa Devi, who is an incarnation of Parashakti. And Manasa Devi was blessed by Shiva, and Manasa Devi's son was Manasa Devi and Jaratkaru. Their son was Astika, who stopped the Sarpa Yajna in Janamejaya's hall. So that is the story of Vasuki, great name in Purana. Now he is wearing that Vasuki as a garland. Trilochanaya, he is having three eyes. Lochana means eyes, three eyes. Chandra, Surya and Agni. The third eye is Agni, the central eye is Agni. The right eye is Surya, left eye is Chandra. We have seen earlier, Surya and Chandra are essential for human life. Agni is also essential for human life. Not only for cooking, it's important. Agni is also inside our stomach as Jatara Agni, we saw that. Agni is everywhere. Without Agni, we cannot function. Without Agni, we cannot perform any Smarta Yajna or Shrauta Yajna. We can't do that. So, Trilochanaya, he is wearing them as, these are Pratyaksha Devas. Surya, Chandra and Agni are Devatas whom we see with our eyes. Other Devatas we can only imagine. But these three are Pratyaksha Devatas, and these Pratyaksha Devatas are his very eyes. The eye is the most important anga in a human body, part of the limb of the human body. Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam, Shastra says. In fact, the very word Nayanam means it leads. Nayanam means it leads. Because without eye, you cannot go anywhere. Eye is the basic leading part of the body. That's why it's called Nayanam. So he is the most important part of the body he has assigned to Chandra, Surya and Agni, Trilochanaya. Bhasma Angaragaya Maheshwaraya. Bhasma Angaragaya. Angaraga means what is called perfume or scent, which you use as a cosmetic on your body, as an anointment, as a lap. Angaraga is a lap or anointment which you use on the body to give you good fragrance. Now, what he is using, women use all kinds of perfumes, angaragas, but what he is using bhasma. Bhasma is another name for vibhuti. Bhasma means ashes, sacred ashes. Now, bhasma's significance has been brought out in Shastras enormously. In fact, there is a Shastric provision that you should never be without bhasma on your forehead. You should never be. In fact, Shastra goes to the extent of saying, in fact, it will provoke laughter if I quote the Shastra provision now. It says, if I see somebody without vibhuti on his forehead, I should go and take bath because it is equivalent to visiting Smashana. This is what Shastra says. If I see somebody without vibhuti on his forehead, immediately I should go and take bath because it is equivalent to visiting Smashana. That is the importance of Bhasma. Bhasma, there is a beautiful shloka in Devi Bhagavatam. Bhasanat bhasitam proktam bhasmakal mashabhakshanat bhutir bhutikari pumsam raksha raksha kari pura. That is Vibhuti, various names are given here. Bhasanat bhasitam proktam. It is called bhasitam. One of the names is bhasitam. Bhasitam means it shines. Bhasma kalmasha bhakshanat, it is called Bhasma, which is the name used here. It is called Bhasma because kalmasha bhakshanat, it eats away our sins. Bhutir bhutikari pumsam, it is called Bhuti, Vibhuti, because it brings you prosperity. Bhutikari. Bhuti means prosperity. Raksha raksha kari pura, raksha raksha kari. It is also called Raksha because it protects you from evil effects, evil spirits and so on. Another explanation for Bhasma, beautiful explanation, which explains the letter Bha and Sma. Bhajanate sarvapapagnam smaranatya shivankaram bhasmacheti samakhyatam bhukti mukti phalapradam bhajanate sarvapapagnam. By wearing it, bhajana means wearing here, by resorting to it, sarva papagnam, it destroys all my sins. Smaranatya shivankaram, it reminds me of Shiva, so it brings me auspiciousness. It reminds me of Shiva, so it brings me auspiciousness. I resort to it, so it kills all my sins. Bha and Sma. Bhajanat sarvapapagnam smaranatya shivankaram bhasmacheti samakhyatam. That is why it is called Bhasma. Bhukti mukti pradayakam. Not only it reminds me of Shiva, it brings me auspiciousness. Not only it destroys all my sins. What is the greatest auspiciousness for a human being? Moksha is the greatest auspiciousness. So he says, Bhukti mukti pradayakam. It gives me all enjoyments in this world, bhukti, and also it gives me mukti. Finally, moksham. So that is Bhasma. Maheshwaraya, the great Ishvara, the great Lord, the greatest of Devatas. Nityaya Shuddhaya Digambaraya. Nityaya. Nitya means eternal. He is not defined by time. He is not limited by time. We are all limited by time. We have a certain time of birth, certain time of death. But he has no birth, he has no death. So he is Nitya. Not limited by time, not limited by space. Shuddhaya, ever pure. Nobody can claim to be ever pure on this earth. Only Bhagavan can claim. That is why he is called Shuddha Buddha. He is ever pure, he is ever full of knowledge, full of consciousness. Shuddha Buddha. Mukta. Shuddha Buddha Mukta is the normal three words which define Bhagavan. Shuddha, Buddha, and Mukta. Buddha means full of knowledge, full of consciousness. And Mukta means ever liberated. He was never bound. Only when somebody is bound, he has to be liberated. Once when somebody is ever liberated, you don't have to say he is liberated. So he is like that. Shuddhaya, Digambaraya. In fact, that what we discussed just now, Mukta, is the meaning, implied meaning of Digambara. Dikku Ambara. Dikku means direction. Ambara means dress. He is wearing directions as dress. That means what? He has no dress. He is not wearing any dress. He is naked. He is wearing directions as dress. Dikku Ambara. Dikku is Disha, direction. Dikku Ambara. He is wearing dress, direction as dress. He is naked. What is, we have seen before, Nagnaya we saw in the last stotram. Nagana means same, Digambara. Nakedness. What is nakedness? Nakedness means I have no upadhi, I have no attribute. If you have an attribute, you are white, you are black, you are tall, you are short, you are knowledgeable, you are not knowledgeable, you are poor, you are wealthy. These are attributes. He is free from all the attributes. He is only consciousness. Consciousness incarnate. That is why consciousness is not an attribute, it is a nature. Bliss is his nature. Consciousness is his nature. Being eternal is his nature. So, Sati Chiti Ananda. So he is ever naked in that sense. Digambaraya. Tasmai nakaraya namah shivaya. Nagendraharaya turochanaya. Bhasmangaragaya maheshwaraya. Nityaya shuddhaya digambaraya. Tasmai nakaraya namah shivaya.
Nagendraharaya trilocanaya. Bhasmangaragaya maheshwaraya. Nityaya shuddhaya digambaraya. Tasmai nakaraya namah shivaya.
Mandakini salila chandana charchitaya. Nandishvara pramathanatha maheshwaraya.
Mandakini salila chandana charchitaya. Nandishvara pramathanatha maheshwaraya.
Mandara pushpa bahu pushpa supujitaya. Tasmai makaraya namah shivaya.
Mandara pushpa bahu pushpa supujitaya. Tasmai makaraya namah shivaya.
Tasmai makaraya namah shivaya. We saw tasmai nakaraya last time. Now the next letter is ma. That Shiva who has expressed himself, whose full potency is available to me in the letter Ma. Shiva straight. Mandaki, I think Ni should be the Dirgha. There's a mistake here, I think. Mandakini Salila Chandana Charchitaya. Salila means waters. Mandakini is another name for Ganga. Ganga waters, because Shiva is fond of Abhisheka. Abhisheka Priyaha Shivaha Alankara Priyaha Vishnu. Shiva is fond of Abhisheka, Vishnu is fond of Alankara, decorations. So, how do we do Abhisheka for Shiva? We bring Ganga water, we saw last time in the earlier Stotra also. Mandakini Salila, who is given Abhishekam with Mandakini waters, Ganga waters. Chandana Charchitaya. Charcha means, again, what we saw earlier, like a lap, like an anointment, like a smear. He is smeared with chandana, sandal paste. Abhishekam with chandana is one of the important 11 dravyas which we use in Rudra Abhishekam, as all of us know. So chandana he is mentioning here. Ganga waters he is bathed with, he is also anointed with chandana. Chandana charchita. Charcha means lap. Charcha don't mean debate here. Charcha, as I said earlier, in Sanskrit, same word can mean different things in different contexts. Charcha means debate. Charcha also means a lap, an anointment, a smear. Chandana charchitaya. Nandishvara pramathanatha maheshwaraya. Nandishvara pramathanatha. Nandishvara. He is the Ishvara for Nandi. Nandi is his Vahana, his vehicle, the great bull. If you look at Nandi's history, he was born as an ordinary Brahmana boy on earth, and because of his tapas, Shiva appeared before his father, and then he took his son as his vehicle. He said, your son has done great tapas. With a young boy, he did great tapas. So he became Nandi. In fact, the word Nandi means he is always happy, ever in bliss, Ananda. He is ever in Ananda, that is why he is called Nandi. So if we worship Nandi before we worship Shiva, it's a must. When we go to a Shiva temple, we worship Nandi before we worship Shiva. If you worship Nandi, he gives you happiness, he gives you bliss, so that when you go to Shiva, you are full of bliss, you have forgotten all your samsara worries. In Skanda Purana, there are many occasions when devatas go and try to have audience with Shiva in Kailasa, and Nandi stops them. He says, this is not the time for you to meet Shiva, to have darshan of Shiva, go back. So that is his power. He is the one who allows you to have darshan of Shiva. Many times, even Vishnu was stopped when he led the group of devatas, because they were all suffering in the hands of Padma. So they wanted to go and have darshan of Shiva so that Shiva could get married to Parvati and so that Subramanya could be born. This was the occasion. But Nandi was not allowing. Why he was not allowing? Because that was not the time. Why that was not the time? Because Padma has got a long life ahead of him. So this is how it goes. So Nandishvara, he is the Ishvara of Nandi. Pramathanatha, he is also the Lord of Pramatha Ganas. Shiva is known for Rudra Ganas who are divided into various groups. One of the groups is Pramatha Ganas. Pramatha Ganas are a form of Rudra Ganas. Shiva Ganas are Rudra Ganas, Pramatha Ganas, and so on. The various groups of attendants he is having. Sometimes even Bhutas and Preta Pishachas are Ganas of Shiva, or interpreted or shown as Ganas of Shiva. So Pramatha is one of the groups. Now the word Pramatha means something troublesome. Pramatha, Manthana means churning. Manthana means churning. Pramatha means he churns you. That means he tortures you. Why he tortures? Why Pramatha Gana is interested in torturing us? Because of our sins. They don't torture those who are full of religious merit. Those who are indulging in sins, they come and torture. This is mentioned in Rudra Mantra. Sri Rudram, this is mentioned. What various Rudra Ganas do to devotees and who are sinners. This is mentioned in detail in Sri Rudra Mantras. Pramathanatha, Maheshwara, we have seen before. Mandara Pushpa, Bahu Pushpa, Supujitaya. He is well worshipped. Puja is worship. He is well worshipped with what? With Bahu Pushpas, many flowers, like Mandara Pushpa. Mandara Pushpa is one of the favorite Pushpas of Shiva. Mandara, Arka, Drona, Drona, he says, Apaya Dikshata says in Atma Arpana Stuti, Drona. So these are simple Pushpas which are used in the worship of Shiva, along with Bilva, of course. Bilva is a patra, whereas here he is talking about Pushpa, flowers. Mandara Pushpa, Bahu Pushpa, Supujitaya, Tasmai Makaraya, Namah Shivaya. Here it is printed Makara Mahitaya because another version, instead of Mandara Pushpa, Bahu Pushpa, Supujitaya, is Makara Mahitaya, Supujitaya. Makara Mahitaya means Mahitaya means one who is having Mahima, one who is reveling in glory. What glory? Makara itself is the glory. He is reveling in the glory of Makara. Mandagini Salila Chandara Charchitaya Nandishvara Pramathanatha Maheshwaraya Mandara Pushpa Bahu Pushpa Supujitaya Tasmai Makaraya Namah Shivaya.
Mandakini Salila Chandana Charchitaya Nandishvara Pramathanatha Maheshwaraya Mandara Pushpa Bahu Pushpa Supujitaya Tasmai Makaraya Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya Gauri Vadanabhya Vrinda Suryaya Dakshadhara Nashakaya.
Shivaya Gauri Vadanabhya Vrinda Suryaya Dakshadhara Nashakaya
Srinilakantaya Vrishadbhajaya Tasmai Shikaraya Namah Shivaya.
Shri Nilakantaya Vrishadhvajaya Tasmai Shikaraya Namah Shivaya.
Now we are moving to the letter Shi, the third letter, the central letter of Namah Shivaya mantra. Tasmai Shikaraya Namah Shivaya. My prostrations to that Shiva who is manifesting himself in the letter Shi. And what better word to start Shi with Shiva? That's why he is starting with Shivaya. Shiva, as we have seen before, includes both Shambhu and Shankara, who is auspiciousness incarnate, who bestows auspiciousness on us. So Shiva, the very thought of Shiva brings you auspiciousness. The very name of Shiva brings you auspiciousness. Shivaya. Gauri Vadana Abja Vrinda Suryaya. Gauri Vadana Abja Vrinda Suryaya. He is Surya to Abja. Abja means lotus. See, lotus blooms on seeing Surya. Lotus shrinks when Surya sets. During night, lotus shrinks. During daytime, lotus blooms. So he is the Surya of lotus. Which lotus? Gauri Vadana, the face of Gauri. He is the Surya for the lotus of the face of Gauri. Lotus, which is the face of Gauri. Gauri Vadana Abja Vrinda. Now why Vrinda? Gauri Vadanabja Suryaya should have been enough. Now he is bringing Vrinda. Vrinda means a group. Vrinda means a group. Vidvat Vrinda means group of Vidwans. Now Abja Vrinda means group of lotuses. Now he is saying Gauri Vadana, face of Gauri, and he is also saying group of lotuses. Normally the face of a woman is compared to a lotus, fine. Now why group of lotuses? Because Gauri is not an ordinary woman. She personifies the entire creation. There is no creation without Gauri. Shiva cannot create anything without Gauri. This is Shakti. Without Shakti, Shiva cannot create anything. And what is creation? Creation is manifold. So to represent Gauri as personified in creation, which is manifold, he says Abja Vrinda. She has to be seen in the entire creation. Her lotus face is seen not in only her original form, it is also seen in the entire creation as many lotuses. In fact, Devi Mahatmyam says all women are personification of Shakti. It says so. All women should be worshipped as personifications of Shakti. So all women's faces are lotuses. So Gauri Vadana Abja Vrinda. That can be one explanation. Another explanation can be the face itself consists of several lotuses because eye is a lotus, forehead is a lotus, cheek is a lotus. These are all compared to lotuses by poets. In fact, in Kamba Ramayanam, when Kamban describes Rama, he says Rama's form is a forest of lotuses. Tamarai Kadu, he says, because forehead is a lotus, eye is a lotus, cheek is a lotus, hands are lotuses, feet are lotuses, thighs are lotuses, everything is a lotus. Now, how many lotuses? He says Tamarai Kadu. So, like that, the face itself is Abja Vrinda. That can be another explanation. Gauri Vadana Abja Vrinda Suryaya Daksha Adhvara Nashakaya. Nashaka, he destroyed. Destroyed what? Daksha Adhvara, Daksha Yaga. Adhvara means Yaga. He destroyed Daksha Yaga. All of us are familiar with how he destroyed Daksha Yaga because Daksha became very arrogant, conceited. He started despising Shiva for various reasons. He became arrogant. He started despising Shiva, criticizing Shiva. So in one yaga which he attended, yaga was conducted by Brahma. He despised Shiva in the presence of Nandi, and Nandi cursed him, saying that you will meet your death at the hands of Shiva, is what he said. So that is what happened. Later on, Daksha conducted a yajna without inviting Shiva. He invited Vishnu, he invited all the devatas, he invited Brahma, he invited everybody other than Shiva. So, at that time, Shiva's consort was Sati, Dakshayani, Dakshaputri. And Dakshayani took the permission of Shiva, attended the yajna, and there she also was criticized, was disgraced by Daksha, and she consigned her body to flames. Now, on hearing this, Shiva became extremely angry. He plucked one of his hairs, and the hair turned into Veerabhadra and Bhadrakali. He dispatched Veerabhadra and Bhadrakali to the Yaga Mandapam. There, Veerabhadra killed the Veerabhadra dismembered many devatas. Surya lost his teeth and so on. And then he killed Daksha. And later on, at the plea of Brahma, or the prayer of Brahma, because Daksha is also a Prajapati, Brahma's son. So having lost his son, he prayed to Shiva, but Shiva being compassionate, he brought Daksha back to life, but he gave the head of a goat to him. This is the story. So Daksha Adhvara Nashakaya. So what is the lesson of Daksha Adhvara Nashaka? The lesson is that Shivaninda should never be tolerated. This is the idea. Shivaninda and Guru Ninda should never be tolerated. If in fact it is explicitly stated in Shastras that if you happen to be present in a place where somebody criticizes Shiva, where somebody criticizes your Guru, you go and pluck his tongue out. This is what Shastra says. Pluck his tongue out, don't think twice. Well, if you are incapable of that, because you are powerless, you don't have that power, that ability, then you go away from that place. That you can do. You go away from that place where Shivaninda is taking place, where Guru Ninda is taking place. Dakshadhvara Nashakaya, Shri Neelakantaya, Vrishadhvajaya, Shri Neelakantaya, Neelakantha, blue-throated, Kantha is throat, blue throat, because he consumed poison, halahala poison he consumed when milk ocean was being churned for getting Amrita by Devas and Asuras. Devas and Asuras, Vasuki again was the serpent which was used at that time. And one side was pulled by Devas, another side was pulled by Asuras, and halahala poison emerged before Amrita emerged. And who else but Shiva could consume for the sake of welfare of the world? He consumed. Neelakantha, he became Neelakantha. Now, why Shri? Shri does not always mean glory. Here it means poison. Shri, the word Shri has also got different meanings. One of the meanings is poison. Because he consumed poison, he became Neelakantha. That is the reference here. So Shri Neelakantha, yeah. Vrishadhvaja, yeah. Dhvaja means flag. His flag is Vrisha, Vrishabha. That is bull. Bull is the flag. Bull is Vahana. Bull is also a flag. Many times you see Vahana is same as flag. For many devatas, Vahana is same as flag. That is for Shiva. His Vahana is Vrisha, his vehicle is Vrisha, his flag is also Vrisha. That means from a distance, you can only see the flag, you cannot see the Vahana, you cannot see Shiva from a long distance, but if you see Dhvaja, then you are reminded of Shiva. So that is the beauty of Dhvaja. That is the importance of Dhvaja. Even kings have Dhvajas, flags. Because on a high flag mast, you see Seva. Shivaya Gauri Vadanabjavranda Suryaya Dakshadharanashakaya Shri Neelakantaya Vrishadhvajaya Tasmai Shikaraya Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya Gauri Vadanabja Vrinda Suryaya Dakshadharanashakaya Shri Neelakantaya Vrishadhvajaya Tasmai Shikaraya Namah Shivaya.
Vasishtha Kumbhodbhava Gautamarya Munindra Devarchita Shekharaya.
Vasishtha Kumbhodbhava Gautamarya Munindra Devarchita Shekharaya.
Chandrarka Vaishwanaralochanaya Tasmai Vakaraya Namah Shivaya.
Chandrarka Vaishwanaralochanaya Tasmai Vakaraya Namah Shivaya.
Tasmai Vakaraya Namah Shivaya. My prostrations to that letter Va, which represents Shiva in all his potency. Vasishtha, the letter Va is represented by Vasishtha here. Every letter you saw is represented by a certain name which goes to represent Shiva. Now here, Vasishtha, Kumbhodbhava, Gautama, Arya, Munindra, Deva, Archita, Shekharaya. This is one word which has so many words, one phrase which has so many words. Shekharaya, we have seen before. Shekhara means who is having the head. Archita Shekharaya, the head is worshipped by these people who are listed here. Shiva, who is having a head, worshipped by, Archana done by various people. Who are the various people? Vasishtha. Vasishtha is the first name here. Vasishtha is a great name in our Sanatana Dharma literature. He is the great resplendent son of Shiva, son of Brahma, and he is the Purohita of Rama's Vamsha, Ikshvaku Vamsha. He is the Purohita of Rama himself. In fact, he says in one place that I am Purohita. I chose to become Purohita because we saw yesterday, Paurohityam is not a very desirable thing. So, but he chose to become Purohita of Ikshvaku Vamsha right when the Vamsha was getting initiated, was being born. Right at that time, he became Purohita. Ikshvaku onwards, Manu onwards, in fact. From Manu onwards, he became Purohita. He became Purohita for Ikshvaku and the entire solar race. Why? Because Rama, he knew, because he was a Trikala Jnani, he knew Rama is going to appear in that Vamsha. And Rama being Paramatma himself, he did not want to lose a chance of being Purohita of Rama. He himself says that. So Vasishtha, such a great name. As you may be knowing, there are 18 smritis which are recognized in our Sanatana Dharma, 18 Shastras. And one of the Shastras, it starts with Manusmriti. One of the Shastras is written by Vasishtha. Vasishtha Smriti is very famous. With a great name. Vasishtha. Kumbhodbhava. Kumbha Udbhava. Udbhava means born. Kumbha means pitcher. Pitcher born. Pot born. Born in a pot. Born in a pitcher. Who is born in a pot? Agastya. Agastya was born in a pot to the Virya of Mitra and Varuna. In fact, it is a very interesting thing that Vasishtha is combined with Kumbhodbhava here because both are brothers. Vasishtha, though he was, is another story, though he was born as son of Brahma, later on he was cursed by Vishwamitra to lose his body in one of his fights, regular fights with Vishwamitra. Vasishtha also cursed Vishwamitra. That is another story. So Vasishtha lost his body. So Brahma took pity on him and he gave him another body. Now that another body was born in a pitcher like Agastya to the same Maitra Varunas, Mitra and Varuna. To the same Maitra Varunas. Vasishtha is the son of Maitra Varunas. Again he regained his glory, he regained his memory, he regained everything. And he became again Purohita of the solar dynasty. When he was Purohita, this happened. This incident of being cursed by Vishwamitra happened. He lost his body. He regained his body by becoming the son of Mitra and Varuna, Maitra Varuna. Same for Kumbhodbhava, Agastya. Agastya was also the son of Maitra Varuna. He was also born in a pitcher. Agastya is a great name, as all of us know. It was given to Agastya to balance the north and the south of Vindhyas. The great achievement which nobody else could do. In fact, Agastya has got number of achievements. Agastya's achievements are too many, numerous. One of the greatest of achievements was to balance north and south. During Shiva's marriage, there was a big crowd in Himalayas. The northern side started going downwards. So Shiva dispatched Agastya, though he is short in form, his glory is so great. So he came to south of Vindhyas and then he balanced north and south. He also brought down the conceit of Vindhya. Vindhya was growing and growing in height. He brought down the height of Vindhya. That is another part of the story. He brought Kaveri to the south in his Kamandalu. He brought Kaveri waters as directed by Shiva. He brought Kaveri waters in his Kamandalu, and those waters were given to us in the south. That is Kumbhodbhava. Gautama Arya Munindra Deva Archita. Gautama, next name is Gautama, another great sage. Those who are in Mumbai, like me, they will know Godavari. Those who are in Maharashtra and Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, consider Godavari as a great river. Why? Because Godavari is known as Ganga. Gautama Ganga. Godavari is known as Gautama Ganga. It is equivalent to Ganga in all its greatness. And it was brought to earth by Gautama's penance. Gautama, great devotee of Shiva. His greatness is brought out by a beautiful story in Mahabharata and Devi Bhagavatam. When the whole world was down with a serious famine for 12 years, he prayed to Gayatri Devi. Gayatri Devi blessed him with an Akshaya Patram, and he fed a great, vast humanity. That is the greatness of Gautama. He is also an author of Smriti, Gautama Smriti, great sage. Gautama, Arya Munindra. Arya means respectable. Munindra, great Munis. Arya Munindra, respectable great Munis. And Devas, Deva, Archita. They are all worshipping Shiva. Who are all worshipping Shiva? Vasishtha is worshipping, Agastya is worshipping, Gautama is worshipping. Great Munis, respectable great Munis are worshipping, and Devas are worshipping. Muni means one who is given to Manana. We saw, Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. It's all connected with Manas. One who is Manas is one whose mind is completely devoted. One who is given to complete meditation of Shiva is Muni. Chandra Arka Vaishwanara Lochanaya. Lochana we have seen before, Trilochanaya, 3 eyes. Now the 3 eyes are explicitly mentioned. Chandra, Arka and Vaishwanara. Chandra, Arka is Surya, Vaishwanara is Agni. We have seen before, without Surya there is no life. Surya is the giver of life. Surya is the bestower of food grains. Chandra is the bestower of essence of food grains. Otherwise, food grains will not give us the strength to work. So Chandra and Arka, Surya or Pratyaksha Devatas who give us food, if not anything else. They give us food, they give us energy. Vaishwanara, Agni, we have seen before, Agni's importance. Tasmai Vakaraya Namah Shivaya. Vasishtha Kumbhodbhava Gautamarya Munindra Devarchita Shekharaya Chandrarka Vaishwanara Lochanaya Tasmai Vakaraya Namah Shivaya.
Vasishtha Kumbhodbhava Gautamarya Munindra Devarchita Shekharaya Chandrarka Vaishwanara Lochanaya Tasmai Vakaraya Namah Shivaya.
Yakshaswarupaya Jatadharaya Pinakahastaya Sanatanaya.
Yakshaswarupaya Jatadharaya Pinakahastaya Sanatanaya.
Divyaya Devaya Digambaraya Tasmai Yakaraya Namah Shivaya.
Divyaya Devaya Digambaraya Tasmai Yakaraya Namah Shivaya.
Tasmai Yakaraya Namah Shivaya. My prostrations to that letter Ya, who represents Shiva in all his power and potency. Yakshaswarupaya. Now for the letter Ya, we are bringing Yaksha. Yakshaswarupaya, he says. That means Shiva has got a form of Yaksha. What does this mean? We are all familiar with Shiva, Shiva's form, with Ganga on his head, with Jata on his matted tresses, with serpents all over his body. In fact, he is also represented as Ardhanarishvara with having given his left half to Parvati, and so on. We are all familiar with Shiva's forms. But what is this form of Yaksha which is being mentioned here? Now, there is a loka called Bhuvar Loka. Om Bhuhu, Om Bhuvaha, Om Suvaha, we say. There are 7 lokas above earth. This next loka is Antariksha. Antariksha is Bhuvar Loka. Now, this Bhuvar Loka is inhabited by demigods, by semi-gods, who are not devatas in their full glory. Devatas are occupying Swarga. The intermediate space between Swarga and earth is occupied by these people who are semi-god, demigods, and that loka is called Antariksha or Bhuvar Loka. Now, who are all these demigods? Yaksha, Kinnara, Gandharvas, and so on. Now, Yaksha is one of the groups of demigods who are occupying the intermediate space. Now, Shiva is represented as having the form of Yaksha. That is strange. Why? Now, there are 2 explanations possible for this. What Adi Shankara had in mind, he only can explain. But 2 interpretations are possible. One interpretation is the head of Yakshas is Kubera. Yaksha is the group of demigod. The group is headed by Kubera. Kubera is a Yaksha head. Now, Shiva is very much fond of Kubera. Why he is fond of Kubera? He has no special favoritism for anyone. He is fond of his devotees. If your devotion is of a very high order, he is fond of you. Now, Kubera performed such a great tapas to attain Shiva. Shiva was extremely pleased with him. So what he did, he gave a corner of Kailasa to him. He said, you go and occupy this part of Kailasa. Who would do that? His own loka, Kailasa. After all, Yakshas are entitled to live only in Bhuvar Loka, not even in Swarga Loka. Now, Shiva gives the corner of Kailasa itself to Kubera. Not only that, he calls him as my friend. He says, you are my friend. From this moment onward, you are my friend. He gives him the status of a friend. This is stated in Purana. This is stated in Sri Sotram. Deva Sakha. Upayetamam Deva Sakha Kirtishcha Madinasaha. Sri Sotram says. Upayetamam Deva Sakha. Who is Deva Sakha? Kubera. What is Deva Sakha? Sakha of Deva. Shiva's friend. Upayetamam. Let Kubera come to me. That is what it says. Because I need the wealth of Kubera. So Kubera is in charge of Navanidhis. 9 great forms of wealth. Who gave him those Navanidhis? Shiva gave him. Shiva appointed him as the custodian of Navanidhis. Shiva gave him wealth. Shiva gave him place in Kailasa. Shiva called him a friend. So that is why he is Yaksha Swarupa. He is represented by Kubera in all his glory. That is why he is Yaksha Swarupa. That is one explanation. Another explanation is, this is another explanation given by some Vidwans. There is a story in Kenopanishad, which is also mentioned in Devi Bhagavatam, where, I will not go into details of the story, where there is an occasion when Devatas were very pleased with their victory over Asuras. They were celebrating their victory in Swarga, in Amaravati, in Indra's assembly hall. There is nothing wrong in celebrating, but their celebration went beyond bounds. In their celebration, in their over-enthusiasm, they thought they were responsible for their victory. Because of our strength, we got victory, they thought. So Devi Parashakti decided to teach them a lesson. So she brought Shiva in the form of Yakshas. That is why Yaksha Swarupa. Shiva came in the form of Yakshas, a great column of light, powerful light, to the assembly of Indra. So sudden appearance of this column of light perplexed everybody. So Shiva sent Agni to find out who he is. Agni expressed his power of burning everything. Then Yaksha produced a dry piece of small grass. which could not be burnt by Agni. Agni lost his conceit, came back. Then Vayu was dispatched. Vayu also could not even shake a small piece of dry grass. So he came back, lost his conceit and came back. So now itself, Indra learnt his lesson. Now he went out and he was looking for that Yakshas. He saw the Yakshas from a great distance, but when he went near, Yakshas disappeared. Then he prayed to Devi. This Yakshas gave darshan at least to Agni and Vayu, but Yakshas is not giving darshan to me. I am a worse sinner than those people. Then he performed a very long, many years, lasting many years tapas. Devi appeared before him and Devi taught him jnana. So Devi told him, because of your arrogance, all this happened. Shiva came in the form of Yakshas to teach you that you are all incapable. You could not even burn a grass. You could not even shake a grass. You claim victory over Asuras. That victory was due to my power. You remember that. So, this form of Yaksha taken by Shiva at that time in this story is referred to here. Yaksha Swarupaya. Jatadharaya. He is wearing jata, as all of us know. We saw Dhurjatehe Dhyanashunyam earlier. Dhurjata. He is known as Dhurjati. One who is jata, heavy jata is Dhurjati. Heavy jata, that jata is described variously in Shastras and Puranas as shining red, beautiful jata. Jatadharaya. Pinaka hastaya. In his hand, he is holding pinaka. Pinaka is a sword. Pinaka is sword. Like Trishula, he is also holding a sword, which is called Pinaka. Just as Vishnu is holding a sword called Sharanga, he is called Sharangapani. Now Shiva is called Pinakapani. Some people have the names, you might have seen, Pinakapani. One who is holding Pinaka in his hand. Pinaka is a great powerful sword held by him. In fact, there is a story that Pinaka and Sharanga both were made by Vishwakarma from the backbone of Daditya Maharishi. Daditya Maharishi's backbone was so powerful that Vishwakarma was able to make two powerful swords. He gave one to Vishnu and one to Shiva. Pinaka Hastaya. Sanatanaya. Sanatanaya is eternal. There is no time when he is not present. That is Sanatana. Our dharma is called Sanatana Dharma. Hinduism is not our religion. Our religion is Sanatana Dharma, eternal Dharma, a Dharma which has no beginning, no end, which was ever present. So Shiva is ever present. Divyaya, Devaya, Digambaraya. Deva means one who shines. That is the meaning of the word Deva. Devas are called Devas because they have an innate capability to shine. You might have seen whenever a Deva is represented, there is an arc of light shown around their head. They shine. They have a permanent shine around them. Now, he is Mahadeva, so all shine comes from him. Divyaya. Divya is being a Deva, the quality of Deva. The quality of Deva is personified in Shiva. All Devas derive their shine from Shiva. That is Divyaya. He is Deva, he is shine himself. He is Divya, he is the quality of shine. The quality of shine bestowed on Devas is from him. That is why Divyaya. That is the repetition. Divyaya, Devaya. So he is Deva, he is shining himself. He bestows, like Shambhu and Shankara and Shiva. He bestows shine on all Devas. Divyaya, Devaya. Digambaraya we have seen before, who is having directions as dress, who is naked, who is having no attributes, who is ever pure. That is the meaning we have seen before. But why he is repeating? Because if you are repeating, there is a dosha in poetry. So we should find another meaning. Shankara does this in Vishnu Sahasranama. Shankara himself in his Vishnu Sahasranama Bhashya, when the same name repeats, he finds another meaning for the same name. Similarly, we should also find another meaning for Digambara. The meaning which I can find is, Ambara also means sky. Ambara means dress. Ambara also means sky. Now, sky is the cover for all the directions, isn't it? There's nothing higher than sky. Sky is the highest. Directions are in the four or eight. At the plane, at our plane, sky is the sort of sheath, cover at the top of directions. Now, he is the sheath, Shiva is the sheath, Shiva is the cover for the directions, which means for the creation, because all creation is contained in the direction. He is the overlord of the entire creation, and he is very subtle. Sky is the subtle. That is why we saw in our lecture on Nataraja, Chidambaram, he is called Chidambaram, Chitu Ambaram. Ambaram is sky. Now he is the envelope. What envelope? Chitu Ambaram, consciousness envelope. He is the envelope of consciousness, enveloping the entire creation. So that is Digambaraya. Tasmai Yakaraya Namah Shivaya. Yakshaswarupaya Jatadharaya Pinakahastaya Sanatanaya Divyaya Devaya Digambaraya Tasmai Yakaraya Namah Shivaya.
Yakshaswarupaya Jatadharaya Pinakahastaya Sanatanaya Divyaya Devaya Digambaraya Tasmai Yakaraya Namah Shivaya.
In the printed version, which is here, it stops here, but it is usual to chant a sixth shloka. Oh, it's coming now. Okay. Panchaksharamidam punyam yak pathet Shiva sannidhau.
Panchaksharamidam punyam yah pathet Shiva sannidhau.
Shivalokam avapnoti Shivena saha modate.
Shivalokam avapnoti Shivena saha modate.
This is the Palashruti which somebody was asking yesterday in the earlier Stotram. Now, Palashruti comes here. Panchaksharam idam punyam yaha pathet Shiva sannidhau. Yaha one, pathet reads. Idam punyam panchaksharam. This meritorious Panchakshara Stotram, this Punya Panchakshara Stotram, idam means this. This Punya Panchakshara Stotram, yaha pathet, one who reads, where he reads, Shiva sannidhau, Shiva sannidhau, in the sannidhi of Shiva. Patet Shiva sannidhau becomes patet Shiva sannidhau. When you read together, it should be read as patet Shiva sannidhau. But when you split, it becomes patet Shiva sannidhau. One who reads in the sannidhi of Shiva, this meritorious Panchakshara Stotram, what happens to him? Shivalokam avapnoti Shivena saha modate. Avapnoti means attains. He attains Shivalokam. He attains Shivaloka. He attains Kailasa. He goes to Kailasa. At the end of his human life, he goes to Kailasa. In fact, there are stories of many devotees for whom Shiva sends his Vimana with Rudra Ganas, attendants, who take this Shiva Bhakta in the Vimana and take him to Kailasa. So, Shivalokam avapnoti. Shivena saha modate. What happens when he goes to Shivalokam? He enjoys the bliss. Modate means enjoys the bliss. He is very happy. He is very happy. Shivena saha, along with Shiva. Along with Shiva, he enjoys the bliss of Shiva. Now, this can be interpreted, we saw 4 stages of moksha. You can consider this as any of the 4 stages of moksha. If you are qualified for the highest stage of moksha, which is Sayujyam, that also can be interpreted as Shivena saha modate, because you become part of Shiva. You become an indistinguishable part of Shiva. So, you enjoy all the bliss of Shiva being part of Shiva. So that can be interpreted like that also. So Shivena Saha does not mean you are again apart from Shiva, you are again distinguished from Shiva, you are still enjoying the bliss of Shiva as his companion. It can mean that, but it can also mean something higher, you become part of Shiva. So depending on your quality, your ability, your yogyata, you get into one of the 4 stages of moksha. Panchaksharamidam punyam yap patet shiva sannidhau shivalokam shivena saha modate.
Panchaksharamidam punyam yah pathet shiva sannidhau shivalokamavapnoti shivena saha modate.
So this brings us to the end of the great Sivapanchakshara Stotram, very familiar to most people, usually chanted every day in the Shiva Sannidhi by many devotees. Next week we go to Dakshinamurti Stotram, full of Advaita Vedanta. The greatest of Vedanta, greatest Advaita Vedanta is brought out in Dakshinamurti Stotram. Let us enjoy it next week. So if there are any questions, before that, I wanted to make one small announcement. I wanted to ask whether any of the participants is making detailed notes of these lectures, because there was inquiry from a few people whether any written notes are being taken, whether it will be made available so that it can be printed in the form of a book. I asked those people, why you want this? Because there are many books which are giving explanations of these stotras. Then they said, no, those books are giving only direct meanings, not the explanatory meanings, like we are covering in these lectures. So they say it is required. So if somebody is having properly written notes, in fact, one can write notes even from the recorded YouTube lectures. If somebody can make those notes available to us at the end of this course, then we can edit that and bring it in the form of a book. Of course, with due credit to the person who wrote down the notes. I wanted to make this announcement so somebody can volunteer and inform the group, SSM group. I am writing these notes. I am prepared to part with these notes at the end of the course.
Sure, anybody who wants to volunteer, please email to.
In fact, there is a chat note here. I am making the notes from Usha Natarajan. So she can be registered as one of the note makers by SSM group. Yeah, okay. Any questions?
Yeah, we have a few questions from. I'll just let me go to the first one. The sloka number 2, there's a question on Nandi. Is the name Nandi Shraddham that we do, is it associated with Nandi or joy?
Not at all. This Nandi is the vehicle of Shiva. Their Nandis, no, that's not Nandi, that is Nandis. Nandis are a group of Pitrus. Nandis are a group of Pitrus. They are called Nandis because they are also happy because you are celebrating. They are coming on an occasion when you are celebrating a marriage, or if you are celebrating the Semantam, etc. So they are called Nandi Pitrus. No, nothing to do with Nandi here.
Okay. So next question is Sloka 3. Is the priest Advaryu in Yaga coming from the word Advara?
What did you say?
The question is the priest Advaryu in Yaga coming from the word Advara?
Yes, correct. Advaryu is the guru who is conducting the Advara. He is called Advaryu. He is the Yajurveda priest. There are 4 priests representing the 4 Vedas. So Yajurveda priest who actually helps you performing the yaga is Advaryu, and it comes from Advara. Yes, correct. Yes.
Okay. And the next question is, should we take in Sloka 4 Munindra as the Indra of Muni or Arya Muni? Because Indra is in Devendra.
No, the question is not clear.
So is the Munindra in that Sloka 4, is it referring to the Indra as Devendra?
No. Munindra is head of Munis. That means great Munis. One should not take head as an individual. Munindra is a respectable term. Arya is also another respectable term for referring to great Munis. Arya Munindra means great Munis, respectable great Munis. Nothing to do with Devendra, because it is followed by Deva, which includes Devendra.
Next question on the chat is, what are the 4 stages of moksha? I don't know if it's related
No,
to this.
we have covered it earlier.
Okay.
You can go back to the earlier lecture.
Sloka 5, Chit Ambara. Was Ambara referred to here? Is the question.
What is the question?
Chit in Sloka 5, the Chit Ambara. What was the Ambara referred to here?
There is no Chitambara in Sloka.
I think they are referring to Digambara. Maybe that's probably
Yeah,
what.
Digambara. I referred to Chidambaram because here I interpreted Digambara, Ambara is sky. There also Chidambara is Ambara is sky. That was the context.
Okay, so I think the next question is, why does 4th sloka starts with Va instead of Va, while in sloka 3 it's She and not Sha?
Well, we can only ask Adi Shankara this question. It is left to his poetic imagination, you know. There is no rule it should start because Va, Dirgha, is actually coming from the basic letter Va. So if somebody uses the basic letter Va, you cannot question him. I think there is no need to go into such detail.
Probably we'll take another 1 or 2 questions, but then I think we're past the time. So the Pinakam, I think you mentioned it as a sword, but there's a question here asking, isn't the Pinakam and Sarangam the bows of Shiva and Vishnu? Are they the bows or the sword?
So no, not sword, bow. Yeah. I made a mistake. Yeah,
okay.
It is a bow. Yeah. Saranga is a bow, Pinaka is also a bow. Yeah, correct. Okay. I meant bow, but I must have said sword, yeah, by mistake.
And Sloka 5, I think some people are saying in their version says Yajna Swarupa. Is it Yajna Swarupa?
Correct. There is another version which says Yajna Swarupa because I explained Yaksha Swarupa already because Shiva is the very form of Yajna. Because Shiva is the very form of Agni. And Yajna means Agni means Shiva. That is the relation. So whenever any Yajna is conducted, Shiva is considered as Yajna Swarupa. So that's why Yajna Swarupa is also another accepted version here. Yes, correct.
So maybe we have 3 raised hands. Do you have time for maybe a couple of questions?
Let us cover, yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask Sri Venkataramanji to unmute.
Ramesh, there's one question here. You mentioned, she says that you mentioned Om as a Bijakshara mantra that cannot be chanted by women, but in the sloka there is an Om, so it can be chant when it comes in the sloka.
Where it is in the which sloka?
I think in the title they say Om Shivaya. I think there's some.
No, it's not there. It's not there. I don't think in any sloka it comes. If it comes in any sloka, yes, you can chant. I don't think it comes. Well, as I said, these are strict standards which were being followed in earlier times. I only mentioned it because our Acharya stands for strict standards of traditions. That is why all these efforts are going on. So it is my duty to mention that.
Sri Venkataraman, do you want to? Okay. Go ahead, please.
Venkataraman, thanks very much. இது எங்களோட பாக்கியம் நீங்க என்ன பண்றல. 2 சிம்பிள் கொஸ்டின். டைட்டில் வந்து பஞ்சாட்சரம் இருக்கு இல்லையா, அது ஜா வந்து இந்த சாவரிசை ஜா அது போட்டு பண்ணணுமா, இது இம்மு போட்டுருக்க, எப்படி இன்டர்சேஞ்சபிளா எப்படி பஞ்சாட்சரம் போட்டிருக்கு?
Okay. You are asking about the way it is written, pancha. Whether cha, nya, that last nya, broken nya should be brought or not.
Right.
Yeah, the correct writing way is that broken nya should be brought before cha, not the dot. I think that is your question. Pancha should be written the other way. As a combined letter of nya and cha, not with a dot.
I see. Often
that is a very strict grammar rule. People are not following that nowadays. It has been accepted mostly. The way it is written here has been accepted by most people, even advanced. What you say is correct. Strictly that is correct. Vyakarana requires that.
Okay. That's because I see nowadays so many places like this. So சந்தேகமா இருக்குதான்.
Okay.
Next வந்து Arka is a full moon or Surya?
Arka is Surya, not moon. Arka is Surya. Arka is Surya. Chandra, Arka, Vaishwanara. Chandra, Surya and Agni.
இந்த இடத்துல வந்து Arka, Surya, I understand. Full moon அதே Arka use பண்றதா?
No. Full moon is never referred to as Arka. Arka is always Surya only. Arka is also Arka Patra, Erika Ele in Tamil. There it is Arka. Same Arka comes there.
Okay.
Yes, Arka Patra. But not for moon.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so next I'll unmute Shri Usha Natarajan.
I think Usha Natarajan only volunteered that she has those notes.
Namaskaram, Mama.
Namaskaram.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So I am taking word by word notes, Mama, in case I missed something. I listened to the record and then I have taken notes. So sure. What I thought was I can send one chapter by one chapter to you instead of sending all the 25 at the end. It will be difficult for me.
Yeah.
So email ID I should send because I sent a mail to
the 3 stotrams which we have covered so far. You can send.
But English or Tamil, Mama? English or Tamil? I can write in both.
No. It should be in English only.
Okay.
People want in English only.
Okay, and then I sent mails to
at KKSF USA.org. I'll put the email again in the chat window.
Because I sent it to nvivekshankar at kksf USA.org and ORH, but it bounced back. That's the reason I'm asking the correct email ID.
SSM at kksf USA.org is easy. It's easy to remember.
Yeah, I have put that in the chat window. Please refer to that.
Okay. Right.
And,
there's probably one more question in the chat, or there's one more raised hand. Then after that, I think there's a question on the timing, which we can conclude at the end. I'll ask Shri Ravi Venkatraman to unmute.
Mama.
Thanks, Mama. This is Ravi from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Actually, even I am taking notes. Okay. So like I'm also writing, but of course, it may be a lot of work to write everything. So the thing is, I can share some of the work with Usha Natarajan. I can share. Now,
that may be a good idea. You can send your notes to her and she can sort of compile.
I started writing Subramanya Bhujangam actually, originally. Okay. So I can do that. I can do Ganesha Pancharatnam. You can do like 2 other or something like that we can share.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. And I had only one question here. Everywhere in all the shlokas and everywhere we see, like this lotus face. Like, for example, lotus eyes, lotus feet, even Guru. Like what is the significance of lotus? Because everywhere we see this lotus coming and not any other flower. Is there anything important about that?
Yeah. Lotus is supposed to be one of the very fine, very smooth, very beautiful petal. The lotus as a petal, lotus as a flower is considered by poets. It is the choice of poets. It is the choice of poets, even not only in religious literature, even in poetic literature, descriptions of women, etc. You will find always lotus being mentioned. Of course, lotus is considered the most religious symbol in our Sanatana Dharma. Maybe because lotus is given as an example of our Vairagya. Our Vairagya lesson is taken from lotus. Padma Patram Ivambhasa, Bhagavan says in Gita. So, like water which does not stick to the lotus leaf, it flows off. Similarly, all attachments should flow off us. We should no doubt be in samsara, but samsara should not be in us. Lotus lives in water, but water does not live in the lotus petal, lotus leaf. Similarly, we should live in samsara. We get our food from samsara. We get our sustenance from samsara. Without samsara, we are not there. But samsara should not be our main stake. Our main stake should be Shiva. That is the meaning. That is why lotus enjoys a very special place in terms of Vedanta. And also poets have used it, lotus, for describing beauty. I think that's the answer.
Okay. Thanks.
I think that's pretty much all the questions, Mama. I think.
Okay, right.
Question on the.
Mama, I just wanted to make a quick comment. There was a question before about Arka. So I think there is a word called Raka, right? Raka Shashivadana. There is a famous...
Raka means full moon. I think maybe there
right, Raka, maybe he had reference to it.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Raka means full moon. Arka means Surya. Yes, correct. Maybe Raka Shashivadana, yes. Raka is a term which comes frequently in many stotras. Even in Lalita Sahasranamam it comes. Raka means full moon, yes. But not Arka. I think we close for the day.
Yeah, we'll close for the day. There was a question on the timing from next week. So probably, I think we'll decide the revised timing maybe by next. The next session will probably meet at the same time. And then
next session we will continue with the same time. Session after next, we will decide on revised timing and inform everyone.
Sure. Thank you, Amma. Thank you.
Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda Shri Jagadambikaye Jai Jaya Sadguru Swaminaha Jai